So hands up for questions. Mike?
Siya, just tell me, how do you approach a game like this where you're considered massive favourites?
For us, we don't think like that. We think on our standards, and we obviously looked at the past 4 games that we played, and we were supposed to have an extra week of holiday, and we believe that we didn't hit the standards that we wanted to hit. So the focus has solely been on us, and we all know as players that we could have been much better in so many ways. We've played far better than that and been far more physical than that. So the focus is solely on us of getting the standards that we know as a team we can get to. So we focus on them, on looking at what they've done in the past and also studying their players, see what they can bring. But the most important thing is for me to go out there and be the best that I've ever been in the Springbok jersey.
Ross, and then Brendan, and then Mike.
Stocker, obviously born for Jan Hendrik. What's the extent of Jan Hendrik's niggle? Borns, obviously, this is a massive game for him, second appearance, and it's against Aussies. And then lastly, Rassi mentioned that if Aussies win 6-2, you guys might look to bring out him. Looks like you guys have resisted that urge. What was the thinking there?
Yeah, I think with Jan Hendrik, I think it was just unlucky in one of the sessions where he just got a knock, so we just wanted to be safe and not take a risk on him. And then Buan also has been with the squad for a couple of weeks now, and he's been doing very, very well and fitting in nicely when it comes to the system and how we want to operate. And the nice thing about him and then Dan as our scrum coach, they've got a good working relationship. They've done work with him since their young age, so which is good. So yeah, we just wanted to be safe in the sense of Jan Hendrik just had a knock in the training session. And regarding the opportunity with that we were going to go 6-2 or 5-3, I think there were a couple, maybe 2 positions where we had slashed some of the players when it comes to team selection. So, but once again, the squad we've selected at 23, I think it's a good squad that is good enough for us to make sure that they go and do the job for us. It's going to be a tough game, different game compared to what we've already faced. Talking about Italy and Georgia. But I feel like the team that we've selected and all those guys, they deserve also their opportunity. So yeah, that's the thing. That's why we didn't go towards 6-2 split. But we thought the 5-3 will be good enough for us to handle the game for us, and we know the challenge that's coming. Australia is a side that can give you tough times when it comes to ball in hand and give you a lot of challenges. So that's why we preferred to go for that 5-3 split with the Boks.
Siya, you're playing at 8 this week. Has your role changed in any way? And obviously, Rassi spoke earlier in the week about the breakdown and the threat of the Aussies there, where they obviously going to try and target you there. So maybe speak a little bit about your role this weekend and the loose throws role.
Yeah, my role has changed a little bit, just on set piece, both line-out and scrum. But other than that, I'm still doing my normal job. And breakdown is a focal point. They're very good at it. I think it helps them in a lot of ways when they do. Fraser McWright is really good on that. And there's a couple of other players who get in on the ball. So myself and Marco and Peter Steff have a job in our hand, but the rest of the team as well there. So that's still going to be my focus point in making sure that we do win the break. When we have the ball, we can keep the ball in hand and obviously try and slow down their ball or steal a couple of their balls too.
See, the Springboks generally over history haven't been good between World Cups. And I know you guys had a good year last year. How important is that to you guys, and to that end also to win back-to-back Rugby Championships?
No, it is important. And I think that's why you see so many players getting opportunities, because injuries can happen, and it's unfortunate, as you saw with Jan this weekend. That's why players, when they get opportunities, we want to make sure, when we're in training camps, that group gets to be the best they can be, and you want to train against the best guys as well, and you go into the game, make it tougher. So trainings have been much tougher against each other, and it's been brutal against each other at times, especially in set piece for us as forwards. And the mindset has changed. We want to be the best all the time. We've never wanted that. It's never been a goal to say, no, we just want to focus on World Cups, because anything can happen in a World Cup. So everything in between, and also being number one makes a difference. Being number one in the world when it comes to the World Cup pools and stuff, that also makes a difference. So our mindset is definitely to try and win every single game, but also building squad depth, because that helps a lot in the long run.
Francois over there, en Cardiff
How much of an advantage was it playing for the Sharks regularly? Not regularly, but 8%, and basically just changing Coach Rassi's mind on that.
I think injuries, like obviously Jasper being injured and stuff, but I think it helped me a lot playing at 8 at the Sharks. Coach Plum, at the Sharks sees me as an 8. He told me that from the first time we had a meeting, he said he wanted me to play at 8. And I think here roles are different, and I'm not your Jasper kind of 8 man, or doing a big body, but I've got my own way and I've got my own skills, so I'm going to focus on that. I'm not going to try and be somebody else. And like I said, role doesn't change much. I'm still going to be playing towards the ball, looking after the breakdown, getting carries where I can. Myself and Mark will just talk and chat in the game and see how it goes. But rugby is rugby at the end of the day.
Coach Stalker, I've been hearing players talk about the intensity of your fitness sessions lately, and with the evolution of your game. I guess there's different demands in terms of defense and attack. Are one of those demands a big attack for the players? And should we expect tomorrow a much higher tempo in terms of what the Springboks are going to bring, presuming that the players are fit?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point Siya also mentioned earlier. We've got standards that we've set for ourselves, we've got goals that we've set for ourselves, and for us to be able to maintain those goals, and to be the best in the world, not only during the World Cup year, throughout all the games that we played, and we know the people of South Africa, when the Springboks are playing, it's just a different vibe, so we don't take it for granted. We want to be the best in the world. We want to stay there on top of the world, and the other thing is that with the way we want to develop our game, you can see with the input of Tony Brown, we want to. It's clear for everyone to see that we want to play the fast game, and you can see even without probably most of our forwards now that probably in the past you won't see them passing the ball around, and all of a sudden now there's a lot of ball players around the field, So we want to develop our game, and fitness is part of that goal. And once again, you want to be the best in the world, If you want to compete against Australia, you want to compete against the All Blacks, you want to compete against Ireland, your players have to be fit enough, to handle whatever challenges we're going to face from the opposition. And once again, if I touch on Australia, you've seen probably the last 2 games against the British and Irish Lions. Second last game, they could have won the game. They've lost probably in the last seconds of the game. They've managed to win the last one, so they're probably also in a good space as a team in that changing room. So it's going to be a tough challenge. When you talk about ball in play time, that's why you need your players to be fit. So yeah. We're still getting there. I don't think we're at our best, but we're still getting there. So fitness-wise, yes, it's one of the biggest things when it comes to what we want to achieve as a team.
Ross and Annemie?
So you guys are facing a bit of an unexpected halfback pairing that you maybe weren't thinking of a couple of weeks ago. Nikwat was supposed to be retired, and Connor hasn't played since 2022. So did that shift the focus a little bit this week? And is that something you guys have sort of had to align for?
Yeah, I think it's our job as coaches, to make sure that you do your job very well and research. The moment they've made that call that Nick White is not going to retire, we knew already we have to make sure that we focus on what challenges can he bring on. Or we know we've played against him many times, and it was clear for us the fact that he didn't retire, so they had a plan that they're going to use him. So for us as coaches, we've already planned on Nick White playing the game, and James O'Connor, experienced player, and you can tell their mindset. They want to come here, they want to use probably the most experienced brains when it comes to their system, and and it comes with a different challenge. He's one of the best when it comes to kicking game, and also when it comes to his leadership in that team, he's got a massive impact in that team. So yeah, we knew that chances of he was going to play, so we were always prepared for him.
For both gentlemen, the Springbok women arrived at the World Cup, being very experienced in the World Cup. What are your messages, not just for the players that's going to be there for the first time, but also for fans to get behind them?
We saw the videos of them arriving and chatting to some of them. obviously there's a lot of nerves. But I think they can take a lot of confidence of what they've done the last couple of years, and people can look at that they won the last game against the All Blacks 15. But I've seen how they've just changed as a group, and how hard they are on set piece, how good they are on scrums. They've got things that matter the most. They are capable of doing it. It's all about putting it together in a game. And I think they take confidence in what they've done in the past couple of games. And I don't know, I just have a feeling that we're going to see them make history by reaching at the playoffs. I know they've got a tough pool. They've got Italy, where I think they could have won that game, and 1 or 2 mistakes. But they're a better team than they were when they played in the W15. So I'm looking forward to about what they're about to do. And the people of South Africa, they definitely should get behind them as they got behind us. They're growing and they give everything. I've seen, and they're hungry to get better, and they chat to us, they ask questions, going to the session. It means a lot to them. So I'm looking forward to see what they're about to do.
Yeah, I think from my side the message is clear. We appreciate them, and we love them, and we support them, and they must know that we are behind them. We support them with everything, and it was great to see when they played at Athlone Stadium in Cape Town, the vibe, the people that came out to support them. And like we always say, we are 100% behind them. And it's good to see now people that are also now starting to be behind the ladies, Watch from TV when they were playing, the vibe at Athlone, it was just another level. And once again, like I always say, the more games they play in front of big crowd, also as a main curtain raiser towards the test match rugby, which is I'm talking about the Springboks, that was something nice for me to see, so I'm not sure who makes the call, if it's World Rugby or it's SA Rugby, that is something I think for the growth. We can't just talk the talk, it has to be action, and then we're starting to see the action now. Siya spoke about growth when it comes to how they're playing now as a team, and once again I must give credit to their coaching staff, Swayze, Bafana, and everyone who's involved there in that team. They're doing a great job, and once again we wish them all the best. We will be watching, we'll be supporting, and we appreciate what they do for the country.
Thanks, guys. Vloggers off.